Transition Radio TV brought to you by the breastformstore.com. They have everything you could possibly need for your transgender or cross-dressing needs. Visit their website at www.breastformstore.com and tell them Transition Radio sent you.
The following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add grooves to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. A 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio, live from Hollywood, Florida, with your host and hostess, Mark Angelo and Jessica Lynn Cummings. Show for trans folks, by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard. Hello and welcome to another edition of Transition Radio TV, live from Wilton Manors, Florida.
Yes. Hello, everybody. And we have an announcement to make that we will be changing our show times. This will be our last show on Sundays at 4 p.m. until June 6th, where we will change the show time to Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please continue to join us.
Yes, and the radio show will continue on Fridays for the month of June at 6:30 p.m., but we will be changing it in July to Tuesdays at 9 p.m. So
Yes.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Get, the T for transgender.
Exactly.
So we got both T's in the week.
Yes, and we want to thank everybody for your support and for watching and supporting this wonderful venue that we have created to bring the voices of our transgender brothers and sisters and everyone else in the LGBT community.
And Thursday, June 6th at 9 p.m. we will have, all the way from Hawaii, the beautiful paradise island of Hawaii, Jody Rose.
Yes, we've had him before on the radio show, but he has much more interesting information to provide, ways that you can get your surgery paid for. It's just going to be a very interesting show, so don't want to miss that. Well, today on our show, we have Emma. And I don't know if you guys remember, we had a transition video around 3 weeks ago where Emma caught her eye and was like, wow, what an amazing transformation in 9 months only. And we have her live all the way from France.
Yes,
Not French, but France.
Yes.
Yeah, something.
France.
France. So Emma understood that she was different when she was around 5 years old. She says, this is the first time I remember I dressed with my sisters. And this is also the first time I remember my family took it very bad. It was my first time I understood I wasn't normal. And what I was doing, it wasn't normal from the point of view of my family.
Unfortunately, I had a very difficult childhood with a lot of violence from my family that made me hide more and more who I really was. At 15 years old, I started to dress with women's clothes and hiding it, of course, because it was giving me the feeling of freedom. It made me realize that I was so different from all of my friends.
I was still living in a transphobic and homophobic country, and I was very scared to talk to anyone about it. I was scared about my family's reaction, very scared, about my friends' reactions, and so on. It was so difficult to talk about it that I really thought it will die with me.
I was given the image that such a person is a sick and deviant person, so even if I knew I wasn't that, I had to keep it for me, because I knew that most of the persons in my life at the moment couldn't understand. I was a very shy person and had a hard time fitting in the normal rules of society. But when I was around 18 years old, I started to adapt.
I stopped cross-dressing, and eventually I started to think that I had to fight and accept my body. I was disgusted by my own body and was hating myself since I was at least 10 years old. Emma found true love, is married, and has a child.
Emma is a passionate and creative individual who we are very honored to have on our show. She is live with us today, all the way from France. Hi, Emma. How are you, honey?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic.
That was an
Fantastic.
amazing, amazing transition in 9 months. I mean, you've come a long way. It gives hope to a lot of individuals that are scared to undertake this kind of journey and wondering what the outcome is going to be. So I think that you are a great inspiration, and we thank you. We thank you for being on our show.
And
Well,
what's it like
thank
over in
you.
France today? And what's it like over in France today? How's everything weather-wise?
Oh, a little bit of rain, a little bit of sun, so it's quite okay. But I like sun more than rain, so
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
It's pretty sunny here. Our air conditioning broke down, and so we were having to put fans, and so hopefully the noise of the fan doesn't really interrupt the show too much. No AC, and it's around 80 something degrees.
And it happens. So, Emma, let me ask you, what was the turning point in your life?
well, turning point. It was, I think, it's going to be a little bit cruel, but it was kind of depressing before, and I was down a lot, and at some point I decided to try and accept my body, try and live my life in a wiser way, better way, happier way, and I had two suicide attempts, and at the second one, I decided to leave, and that was my turning point, because it was something very important for me to be there for my daughter, for my, you know, for my family, and yeah, it was hard, but I decided to leave, and that meant I needed to transition. I took my decision, so I think it made me change my the way I was seeing things. It pulled me out of my depression in a way.
Absolutely, and I can't even fathom. Oh my God, I'm trying to think of something here. I'm having a major blah moment. But I know exactly what you're feeling, because that's the whole thing. It was after my second attempt that I came to realize it's time to do something, and it's so amazing how my life has totally changed since I stepped into that world and transitioned and became who I really was.
It's a major evolution, and it's something that we at first look at it as something terrible, but it's once the years progress, we look back and it's a beautiful journey, and it's something that had to be done. And I believe we need to educate the world so that they would be more understanding of what we go through and why we do what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah,
feel
it
now?
was. Sorry, it was. In fact, it was kind of. I had the feeling I had no option at that moment, and that was this feeling, not having the hope, not being able to project myself in the future. It was so negative, It was so difficult to live with. So I think that was very difficult. And yeah, after, of course, everything changed. And like you said, life is beautiful again.
Yes.
Well, tell us how you handle your depression, and what advice do you have for those who may be going through what you went through?
Well, I don't know about the advices, but what I can say, it's that it was quite long for me. um, I was resistant in a way, because several years I've been in this dark depression, and at some point I decided to try and get out of it. So I started searching things about self-help, personal development, Zen, yoga, things like this, spirituality, and I tried and understand a little bit better how to handle all these things. So this was my path, in a way, going through going to spirituality and trying to understand better who I was, in fact. And at that moment, I was still trying to accept my body and to accept who I was. And in fact, in time, I realized that even with all this research on me, with all this, work on me, I realized it wasn't possible, in fact. And I really thought that my goal in this life was to accept myself in a way, accept my body, accept myself. But I realized after that this wasn't my goal. My goal was to find my true self, to find me, and to, accept this real person, this real me. And when I found that, it was already better. I was less depressed because I had a plan. It was like, okay, now I have a plan. I know how to get out of this. And when I had hope again in my life, inside me, it was like, okay, now I can project myself in the future. I had options. And this is how I handled depression in a way.
So basically letting people know that there is hope, that, that it does get better, that...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't agree with you more about I noticed the more people, when I started coming out, that I told about who I truly was, and they started seeing who I truly was, I felt the depression start to lift.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And not everyone's going to be accepting at first. I find that in the beginning, there's a lot of friction from friends and family because they almost feel cheated that they're losing the person that they know and love, the image that they've grown to know. But once the individuals that truly love you see how much happier you are, they start coming around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Absolutely. Well, you are very fortunate, and you have found your soulmate. How did your wife handle your transition?
Well, I was very afraid at first because I love her so much. And I was afraid to lose her. And, at first, I was decided to tell her at some moment, so I took my time to find the right moment. And it was quite weird because one night she told me, we were talking, told me, I would love you whatever form you'd have, even if you were a woman, an alien. And I was, oh my God, that's the moment. So, I decided to tell her, and she was very surprised at first, but after, well, she understood very well. She was very sportive, and of course, our couple changed a little bit because, in a way, I was this new person. I stopped acting like I was doing before. I stopped being this comedian, in a way, and all of a sudden I was me and acting like me, natural, and it was all natural for me. So I was acting differently, I was talking differently, and also I was thinking differently in a way because all of a sudden she understood that I wasn't that person anymore, that she knew. And at first, it was quite difficult because, she lost her husband, and all of a sudden she met this new person who was living in her home. So we decided to while it was quite, it wasn't so clear at first, but we decided to be sisters and try and not put any pressure on the couple and, stop this a little bit so we can understand better where we were, in fact. And I tried and, understand that, of course. At first, it was difficult for me to understand because I didn't knew this feeling about seeing another person. For me, I was the same, but for her, I wasn't the same, of course, because, you know, all of a sudden I changed physically, and yeah, it was different for her. So I didn't understood very well at first, but in time she told me, and of course she was very nice with me, very supportive, and we tried to patch things up in a different way. That means she understood who I was, and she understood that she loved that new person, you know, and she told me, and we got back together, and we are living a happy life since then.
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing. And that shows true unconditional love.
Yes.
And it also shows the misconception that a lot of people have of transgender individuals, that we're gay. And it shows that gender and sexual preference are two different things, and that love has no boundaries. So
Exactly.
it's,
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a great lesson.
Yeah, of course, she's telling all the time that she's not lesbian, but she's not heterosexual neither, because we don't like, you know, labels, and it's
Yeah.
it's not about gender, it's about the person. So we love the person, not the gender.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, you know, we don't fall in love with the person's genitals. We fall in love with the person.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's a great lesson for humanity to learn.
Exactly.
Great lesson.
Yeah.
And that's true love.
Yes.
Well, we wanted to share a video with one of the four-legged family members that you have, which is a beautiful Alaskan Husky. So we're going to show you that video.
One. Okay, as I said, I'm doing a second video just for my good friends. So hi everyone. I wanted you to meet someone special for me. It's my dog. His name is Hajduk. It's an Alaskan Malamute. He's very nice, very kind, and he's my jogging partner. We do lots of miles together, and yeah, I just love him so much. So, just want to say hi, and see you next time. Bye bye. Hi everyone. First of all, I just wanted you to meet someone special for me. Stop it! This is my dog. Qu'est-ce que tu fais là? Mon Dieu. I love you too. I love you too. Oh, that's small. And he's a big dog.
He is quite the handful. Beautiful dog.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, I love
how did you get him
so
to sit
much.
still for so long?
Yeah, sorry?
How did you finally get him to sit still?
Oh, I gave him like 1 kilo of treats. I think he got fat because of that.
It's amazing how food and bribery with dog works
Yes,
every time.
it does.
Yeah. No, he's very nice.
Yes.
He's a
One
beauty.
question here. I just thought, did you have the dog before your transition? And if so, did your pet react any differently, or is it a sheep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
It's a
he
he.
react differently?
In fact, yeah, I had him before, and I was afraid about my voice because I changed my voice. All of a sudden, I was using this low register voice, you know, to handle the dog outside, and yeah, at first, I started to give him commands with my new voice, and in time he get used to it. But I was sometimes tempted to use my old voice in the park because he wasn't listen to me.
You would not only get the dog's attention, but you would get everybody's attention around you, I'm sure.
The dog is probably going, I'm confused. What just happened here? But
Exactly.
I just thought of that question. I was like, wait a minute.
No, that's funny because Betsy, you know, we have a little mini pincer. And I'll sit there, and sometimes I'll sit there and I'll go, Bitsy, no. And she'll just like look at me and I'm like, Bitsy, no. And then I gotta go, Bitsy! And it's like, everybody's looking and I'm like, okay, great. Just drew a bunch of attention to myself. Okay, let me put my tail between my legs.
So let me ask you, Emma, how was the reaction from your blood family, and why do you think they've had such a negative reaction towards your happiness?
Oh yeah. It was. I was afraid from the beginning, and this a very negative point for me. I was afraid because of, I don't know, the mentality, I don't know, the culture, I don't know, but I was afraid. They didn't accept it very well. My father won't talk to me since my coming out. I tried to talk to him, and he said something that was kind of ugly. He said something like, it hurt me more than if you were dead. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, the moment, because she was very happy to have a boy. She told me that a lot when I was a kid. And that was a lot of pressure on me because she wanted this boy, and he was telling me about it, So imagine the pressure I had on me. And yeah, my mother and my sister, I have a sister who's 1 year older than me. And yeah, my sister at first was very, very surprised, and my mother too. Um, they told me that they needed time to get used to the idea. So we talked a little bit, but yeah, it's still difficult. I'm pretty sure it's about the image they had about me. I was this person, this guy who succeeded in his life. It's kind of difficult of talking in masculine, but yeah, I think they had a very strong image about me, with a kid, with a wife, with the dog, it was the perfect family for them. And I think this plus the image they had about me and all this stuff, I think that made impossible for them to accept me quickly. I still believe they will one day. I still believe they will be able to see me as I really am. And I at first I was a little bit frustrated. I was in anger. After that, I went through different phases, but now I'm a little bit more detached, and I know that many people are afraid about that because if you're depending, at least financially, on your family, and you want to transition, and family won't accept that, it's going to be very hard to live with. So I really think many people are, blocked by this idea. But I realized that I didn't need that, you know. I have people who love me around me, and I, I feel so happy with it. I don't really need to have all the people in the world be happy for me, and to accept me. I only need some people, and that's all. That's why I'm detached today, and I wait. I'm waiting. I'm patient. I'm trying to understand their feelings because for them, I'm a dead person. It's this guy who's dead, and they need to get over it. This is the way they see things for the moment. It's about image, I think. It's not about something else.
Exactly.
It's a grieving process. They feel they've lost their son, so it's like this person has killed their son. So it's going to take time, and we all go through it. Some family members become more with the program earlier. Some take a longer time, but eventually they do come around because in the end, you are the person they love, whether you're in a female body or you're in a male body. And they'll learn. You are their biggest teacher, and you're helping them evolve.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, I
That's-
really hope so.
Never lose hope. Never lose hope.
Absolutely.
We wanted to say to the viewers, because we do these shows on Skype, sometimes the quality isn't the greatest. And so we apologize for the quality. Sometimes the Skype's levels go up and down and the faces start to change and stuff like that. But it's the message that's being brought to you and the wonderful interview. So just wanted to point that out.
And it'll also look better on the rendered,
Yeah.
on the on-demand.
Yes.
So live, we run into technical difficulties every now and again and everything like that. So no biggie. So we keep moving on. So Emma, tell us about your professional career.
Okay. Well, it's quite weird because I started in film industry and commercials. I was working in a post-production studio, and I was working on commercial, technical part. And after I was in a film school at that moment, and after that I went to I think it's called fine arts school, in France. And I was in this creative area more than anything else, but I had this passion that was programming. It's quite, the opposite. And I find a job in this area, and since 1999, sorry. I started to work in the IT field, and since then I'm doing that. And it's weird because it's not really the thing I like to do, but this is how it happens, and this is how I was able to pay my bills, But in the same time, I was doing stuff, creative stuff, and I have other passions, but this was my career. And today I'm a trainer. I'm also a trainer.
What kind of trainer?
Well, I'm training all in creation, website creation, performance website creation, e-marketing, and SEO and stuff like this.
So would you say that your transitioning has actually changed the way you make a living, or do you feel that you still are able to?
Yeah, in fact, it gave me the idea to change things. So I'm starting to see how I could change my professional career now. But I wasn't able to change, drastically everything because I had bills to pay.
And that's important. Unfortunately, things cost a lot of money this day and age.
Yeah.
And, but it's hard. It's one of those things that I find that in the trans community, many transgender individuals lose their jobs and have a hard time making a living because the world is not accepting of all of a sudden they have this guy who's doing work and then the guy transitions into the true gender that they are and they can't handle it. It's the same person. They're doing the same exact great job, but they can't wrap it around the brains. So we need to change that. We need to change the way society.
I had this chance to have my own small business, so it was perhaps my luck. But I feel, I heard so many stories about it.
Yeah. Well, I myself transitioned in my career, which I was in for 15 years, and then I was also in a sister category to what I was doing for another 8 years. So I transitioned on the job, and it was a very masculine career, and basically I spent 15 years in the industry, 14 years, proving myself. That last year that I was in the industry, I had to work 10 times harder to reprove myself.
It's a shame.
So,
it's a total shame. It's, again, the battle of the sexes.
Pretty much.
Whichever way you look at it. But
what I felt in my transition, I had some problems because doing trainings, it was quite difficult. So I lost some contracts because I wasn't able to be a male anymore and to dress like a male, but I wasn't able to what I call pass, to present as a female without being difficult to handle this. Because when you do training and you have 30 people in front of you, you want to be zen, not to stress out about, oh my god, I really hope they won't see that and stuff. So at first I refused some contracts because I was afraid about that. But after it's once I started doing trainings again, and I realized that all changed. I had the same type of audience in front of me, but a lot of males, and I saw that their the way they were seeing me was different, of course, because I was a woman trying to tell them how to do websites. And all of a sudden they were like, okay, I believe you, but, I don't think, but. And before it was like I was telling things and no one was asking nothing about, it was like, it's sure. If it's a male, it's sure. If it's a girl, I don't know, perhaps, and I had to work twice. It was like, oh my god, it's so difficult. I never expected that. I wasn't prepared to that. And I realized it's a big difference, doing training as a woman.
No doubt. And I could definitely sympathize with the fact about, when you first start transition, the passable thing is always in one's mind is, am I going to be passable and present well in front of the clients or the customers? And I was a nightmare when I first came out. One of the girls in the office was like, "You're orange," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "You're orange," because the makeup I was using, it was like, look so out of place, and I was dying. I'm like, "Okay, let me go in the bathroom, scrub it up, and redo it. Is that better?" And she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Okay, good."
Oh yeah.
It's sad that in this day and age, there's still that battle of gender, and that it's a man's world, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be equality for everyone. And so I believe as transgender individuals, we have that torch to maybe help people understand that and evolve.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what is your passion? Tell us about Emma's drawings.
Oh, yeah. Well, since I was little, I like to draw. I'm not good at it. I don't think I'm good at it, but I'm learning every day, and I like doing that. So yeah, I love drawing, doing some painting sometimes, things like this, and the music. I like creating some music, but Zen music. It's more, relaxing music.
That's good. Well, here's a video that showcases one of your drawings, and I think the video you're drawing what you consider your best friend for life, which is your wife. So we want to show a little piece of the video, and so the viewers could see.
Only silence remains. Because I have to listen to him. I have to listen to the silence. I have to experience him.
It's amazingly hypnotic between the music and just kind of
that.
watching the way the image unfolds. And I especially like the intro where the teacher, which I call the teacher, tells everyone to be silenced. See, we use words too much, we speak too much and fail to listen to our inner guide. And to me, that's something that's very important. Being still and quiet and meditating.
Yeah, it was Gandhi, and I
Gandhi,
love the
yes.
music. Oh my God!
That's why I call him the teacher, the prophet. You know, there's been many in our lifetime that have come in and try to tell us the same message, but we humans fail to listen.
That was awesome. I especially liked the song. It was like so. It just put me in a trance.
Yeah.
It was like, and I was so focused on the whole drawing of every little detail that was going on in that, which is amazing in itself. So that must have taken you a very long time.
It was the best video, you know, because it was so. I realized it was so annoying at some point.
No, because the music and the way it's just, like I said, very hypnotic. It kind of puts you in a stage. So we live in a world that everything's fast, 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 and we forget to actually take a moment to breathe, be silent, and become connected to everything that is. And that's what we're missing as human beings. We're so fast-paced, computers, TV, this, that, fast foods, and we forget that there is a space inside of us that we need to connect to, be silent and still. And that's how we evolve.
Yeah.
Dramatically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Well, you are into spirituality and creating Zen music. Please give us a glimpse into this world of yours.
Whoa. Well, it's weird because it's linked to my transition in a way, because I was searching ways to get out of my depression, and because my dysphoria and all this, and this is how me and my love, we created Zen Radio, and we were into Zen music a lot. It was a way for me to dream, to escape reality a little bit, and to feel better. And I listened to this music so much. It's like every day, that I was listening to this music so much that we decided to make something to share this with others, to make this music a little bit more popular, and because it's so healing, inside. And this is how we created this web radio. And in the same time, I like doing music, but I don't call myself an artist. I call myself, it's more, I don't know, it's very amateur, but it's passionate. I enjoy, but I'm not taking this seriously, So at some point, my love, she was creating stories for children, because she has this amazing voice, and she was doing audio stories for children. So she created a story, and she needed music, and this is how I started to compose some Zen music, because it was kind of difficult to buy, music and to be able to redistribute. So we decided to create it. So this is how I started doing a small, thing about Zen music.
Let me ask you, did you realize did you get more in touch with spirituality before or after after you started transitioning?
Before, before I was searching so much to get out of my depression that I started and search a lot about it and to understand better. And this is how I think this is how I was able I got the way, I felt how to get out of my depression. I think this was the thing, uh, I understood better who I was and how things were around me.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and show your first Zen song you wrote for a kid's story.
So it just takes you into this takes you to such a beautiful place, you know, and it's
Made me feel like I was on a beach.
unlike the modern music where it's agitating and puts people in a very violent state of mind. But
Amazing.
it's the evolution.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you, if there was anything you would change about your life, what would that be, Emma?
Wow, today I'm able to say nothing. This is the way, you know, it meant to be. It was meant to be, and I'm really happy about my life. So, nothing, and yeah, nothing.
That's awesome.
I could not agree more with that.
And it's a beautiful journey. Everything that's happened in the past to where we are today, it's meant to be the way it is. And it's made us who we are. And we're helping people evolve. And we're helping a lot of people in our lives see many things. So.
Yes, and actually, yeah, if there's one thing I could change in my life, when I lightened my hair last week, I would have kept it off my eyebrows.
It's crazy. Anyway, we are so glad that
You look
joined
gorgeous.
us.
I don't think you needed to change anything.
Thanks, honey. So do you.
You're both very beautiful women, and
Thank you.
you know, it's a gift to the world and to our families and everything else.
Absolutely, it is. Thank you.
Yeah, we want to thank you for being on the show.
Yes.
Thank you.
When I contacted you, I was like hoping, and then you said that you weren't comfortable with the language, but you did beautifully.
You did fantastic.
So,
And you're absolutely gorgeous.
yes. And in 9 months' time, you're definitely going to inspire a lot of people to know that they too can get there.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And
thank you.
stick around if you'd like for the post show.
Yes.
We
We have to make a few little announcements. I'm going to do the transition video of the week, and then we'll go on the post show.
We'll see you on the post show.
Okay?
Okay.
Hang around.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a great night, Emma.
In the evolution we have the privilege to set in motion through our transition is not only healing to our planet, but to our soul. Let us free ourselves from the boxes that society had placed us in. Let us shine our true colors and help heal the planet by allowing the caterpillar to evolve into a beautiful butterfly.
Let us fly, trans brothers and sisters, hide no more, fear no more, and be that which we were meant to be. And here, the transition video of the week by Electric Day.
November 30th, 2011, and it is the first day of my transition.
It is November 30th, 2012, and this is the 365th day of my transition.
Oh my God, please help me knee deep in the river trying to get clean. He says wash your hands, get out the stains, but you best believe, boy, there's hell to pay. Yeah, you best believe, boy, there's hell to pay. Saying, come on. Oh my God, please help me waist deep in the river, can you hear my plea? He says, son, you come like a beggar in the streets, you might make it, boy, but by the skin of your teeth. You might make it, boy, but by the skin of your teeth. Saying, I rebel with the worst of them, fell in love with the harlequin, saw the darkest hearts of men, and I saw myself staring back again, and I saw myself staring back again. Oh my God, please help me neck deep in the river screaming for relief. He says it's mine to give, but it's yours to choose. You're gonna sink or swim, you're gonna learn the truth. No matter what you do, you're gonna learn the truth. Saying, in the bread that once was sown, but from a cliff never broke a bone. I gotta get the king's overthrown, and I'm all alone, and the fire grows, and I'm all alone, and the fire grows. amazing. I have no skin and I feel everything. It's amazing. I feel good when you feel good. I knew I would. It's amazing. I've wanted this for so long. Now the deed has been done. We shall rise with the sun. Spend our time as one. Now there is no sin in anything. It's amazing. I love life, I hope you do too. 'Cause I love everything. It's all amazing. I feel new. Do you feel new? I understand when they say we're born again. 'Cause I've been born again. I'm born again. And it's amazing. It's the best thing. It's glorious. It's life-changing. This feeling is amazing. It's the best thing. It's glorious. It's life-changing. This feeling.
What an amazing transition. It's wow. And then the happy ending with having
The child and
in
everything.
life, yeah.
When I first saw that video, it really choked me up and made me cry. It was awesome.
So guys, remember to send us your transition videos and we'll definitely play them on the show. In the trans news, after Andrea Jones had gender reassignment surgery and was recognized as female by the Social Security office, she went into a Tennessee DMV office to change the gender on her driver license, but they denied her request.
So she walked out into the parking lot, removed her shirt, and the police arrested her for indecent exposure. Though it's completely legal for men to go around shirtless, even the police report refers to Jones as a man, something she has responded to thusly: "If I was a man, then I had the right when I stepped out of the door to take off my shirt."
It's not right for the state to ask me to be both male and female. A choice needs to be made. They cannot hold me to both standards. She's right. In the meanwhile, she's a female to the Social Security Administration, a male to the Department of Motor Vehicles, and somewhere in between to the police. That's crazy.
Amazing.
Totally crazy, guys. It really...
I give her major kudos though, because I would have done the same damn thing.
Well, guys, the show has run a little over an hour. We want to thank you for being and watching, and want to thank Emma for coming all the way from France and sharing her story. We have on Friday Jessica Annette Sims on the radio show, and remember, we won't have a TV show now till June 6th, Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Radio show still remains until July. We're still going to be doing it on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody,
for all you do.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Emma. And
we
love you. But remember to love yourself too.
Always love yourself.
Always love yourself. Why can't we ever get that right?
I don't know.